Bailouts, handouts, and cop-outs have littered the economic path of a country that once valued the virtues of liberty and the free market. And yet our government grows, and dependency grows, and so too grows the longing of our nation, so desperate for leadership. And the question each and every one of us ask is, what kind of a nation will we become? Will we be that nation that is content with that long, lonely journey to the United States of Entitlement, or the nation of Lincoln that preserves for us this, the last best hope on earth? What is it that we must do to move the country forward? I believe it's very simple. First, we must address the immediate fiscal crisis that this nation faces. $17 trillion in debt and growing each and every day. And yet we hear people say, well, you know what, actually things are on the right track. We're reducing our deficit. What's the definition of a deficit? It means you're overspending and you're adding to the debt. We must address our spending. Everything depends upon it. Because long-term, our $17 trillion debt, as more and more of our finances are required to service that debt, as we see a higher ratio of debt to GDP, long-term it squeezes out the private sector. It makes competition for capital more tough because taxes increase, because the monetary system has to be manipulated to supply. Inflationary risks are one of the few escape hatches that they'll turn to. And you know, when it was introduced, the people who create jobs in this room, the people who are job creators, you know who else stood up at that time? I could actually hear President Obama and Vice President Biden standing up because they think they're the job creators in this country. But we know better. We must pass a balanced budget amendment. Congress must do it, and we must stand for it, and we must fight for it. We must cut spending, and we must grow the economy. We must reform our tax code, flatten the rate, make it fair. Wouldn't it be nice if we could lay off some IRS agents? Wouldn't it be nice if we cut the IRS? Wouldn't it be nice if you could simply send in your taxes on an index card instead of a cadre of lawyers and accountants? Economic growth also depends on a regulatory environment that fosters innovation instead of strangling it. Passing legislation to block bad rules, defunding Obamacare, and requiring approval of regulations that have significant impact, we can do it with your help.